All right, here we go. Hello, everyone. Today is Sunday, January 5th, 2020. We made it to a new decade. It's pretty amazing. Um, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people have kind of had a rough start to this 2020 year. And I just want to take a moment to kind of honor all of those that are really going through tough times right now. There's been some tragedies happening here in Pittsburgh, and the whole Australia fires crisis is going down, which is really scary. And and then there's this whole Iran conflict that seems to be sparking up, and who knows what's going to happen there. So whether you're watching this live or in the future, I just want to take a moment to kind of have like a moment of silence for all those that are really going through tough times as we enter this new year. So let's just take a few breaths together. Yeah, I invite you to just remember to hold space for those who are going through challenges because, we're all connected, we're all in this together. And if there's any way that we can each, be of service to others or be of service to the collective, one way to do that is just by holding that loving space and being open to guidance or, messages of how to help serve the collective for those who are maybe not as in of a stable or, balanced position as us right now. So just wanted to start it off with that because, that's very present with me. But I also just wanted to share some of the exciting things that are coming up for me and that I want to share with all of you. Basically, 2020 is like this brand new blank slate, and although our world is in a state of crisis and has been for a long time, I feel that we each have immense power and opportunity to create change in our personal lives and to create change in the world. And so here we are in this winter season. We got a little bit of snow here in Pittsburgh, and I'm guessing most people watching this are probably in the northern hemisphere, so you're experiencing some kind of winter. And so I just wanted to share some of the like tools that I try to focus on during the winter season to kind of align with nature and to also like get my seeds ready that I'm planting for the upcoming spring season. So yeah, I'm going to share a few helpful tools and insights and also some info on this upcoming course that I'm doing. It's called 2020 Vision. It's a 4-week online course. Starts just in a few days on January 8th. And we're going to be meeting weekly through video calls. And we'll also have a private Facebook group. And so this is a very powerful container to, focus on personal transformation in an encouraging setting where you can really collaborate with other people in this online environment. And I'll share a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But firstly, I just wanted to say like this winter season is a great time to align with clarity, and that also matches up with 2020, perfect vision. So I invite you, if you do have anywhere near you just a piece of paper and a notebook, or a piece of paper, a notebook, and a pen. I got mine right here. I highly recommend always having a notebook handy just in all times of life because, we're constantly bombarded with so much information, and it can be overwhelming for our mind to try and remember the things that are important to us. But if you have a piece of paper and a pen, it's like an external hard drive for your brain, and you can jot down good ideas and basically like clear empty space for new ideas. So I'm a huge advocate for that. And if you want to get the most out of this little share I'm going to give, I recommend writing down some of these things. Of course, you can watch it again in the future, but it's nice to just write things down. So with that said, I'm just going to share this little map. Welcome everyone that's joining. Welcome Sherry. Welcome people from the future who haven't even tuned in yet. I also just want to remind you firstly that I'm broadcasting live from my spaceship. I'm here on Spaceship Earth. Welcome Marie and Chia. Love you both. So I'm broadcasting live from my spaceship, whether you know it or not. We're all on this spaceship together. It's called Spaceship Earth. My good friend Niffer from Trilodian Arts created these earth pillows. And it's great to remember that literally right this minute, we're like speeding through outer space at literally thousands of miles an hour. And we're all on this freaking like rock spaceship that is, you know, sometimes we get so stuck in our like zoomed in perspective that, oh, we're these little humans with these problems and these issues and stuff. But when you like zoom out, we're literally flying through a rock in outer space, thousands of miles an hour, and we're like spiraling as we go. So we're like entering new energies all the time and reoccurring to different energies. So I think that's helpful to remember, and it's kind of like an empowering perspective to have, that, you know, we're all in this together, and to not always get so bogged down by our little people problems. I also recommend hydration. It's one of my favorite hobbies. I'm always promoting these Life Factory water bottles. They're made of glass, super easy to wash, reuse. It just makes the most sense, you know. We got to let go of all this plastic water bottle stuff. I mean, I'm not 100% against like plastic reusable water bottles, but plastic single-use water bottles, they got to go. So anyways, first thing I'm going to share is this very powerful map. It's called the Ikigai map. So Ikigai is a Japanese word that means like your life meaning, your life purpose, basically, your reason for being. And so someone created this beautiful map. This is one of the things that we're going to be exploring in the upcoming course that I'm leading. So if you have any questions about this map or about the upcoming course, please post them at any time. I'm going to be doing like a Q&A throughout this little half hour that I'll be sharing on here. So firstly, I just want to show you this incredibly epic map. It's called the Ikigai map. And so these are obviously overlapping circles. And so at the very center, we have the Ikigai, which is like your reason for being. And this reason for being usually combines these four elements. So one of the elements is what the world needs. So if you want to get out a journal or something and start meditating on these four categories, I highly recommend that. So what does the world need right now? In my opinion, the world needs a lot of healing and a lot of, you know, sustainable solutions and things of that sort. So if you want to like help the world out, you got to like figure out how to be a part of that circle. So another one is, what do you love? Like, what are some of your personal skills, hobbies, passions, you know, and that coincides also, of course, with what are you good at? Because unfortunately, some people love certain things that they're not that good at, and so maybe that shouldn't be quite their thing. But perhaps they can still cultivate that skill and figure out how to do it in a big way. But what do you love? So like this is also ties in with like what makes you really mad and what makes you sad. Like for me, deforestation like makes me fucking furious. Like when I was biking through California 10 years ago, I literally drove past truck after truck after truck that was hauling like ancient redwood trees, like huge 100-year-old trees. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, how are we possibly cutting down these freaking ancient beings that are like holding together these ecosystems? And so like, that is something that I really love and that gets me really passionate. And so if you can like meditate on what are some things that you really love and that you want to like defend and take a stand for, then that is really helpful. For everyone tuning in, this is a really helpful map for kind of clarifying your intentions for 2020. And it's a great time to do that during this winter season. So you can meditate on things that you love, and then also meditate on things that you're good at. So these could be like skills, hobbies, superpowers that you have. Some of them you may not have discovered yet. So a huge key is to like experiment and just be curious. Like that's one of the biggest things I also want to impart for this winter season is like just be curious. Like activate your love for learning and curiosity and be like, we know freaking nothing about this world. We know like a tiny sliver, but like there is so much fascinating stuff out there, so many topics. Like I literally spend like, you know, most of my conscious waking hours just learning about new stuff, reading books, watching videos, because I freaking love learning. And I feel like we're like together, we're all like piecing together this puzzle of like all the human knowledge and how to like live in harmony on this planet. And it's just like amazing. And I just want to like help spark that for other people. Like there's so many fascinating documentaries, films, podcasts out there. And so I just encourage you during winter to like find these things that fascinate you and learn about them, take notes on them so that you can then share them with other people. And that's another thing that we're going to do in this upcoming course is like cultivate our ability to speak our ideas to other people and to write them to other people. Because to me, that's like a crucial skill to have. If you know all this stuff about like permaculture, but you're like super shy and don't know how to communicate it to other people, then it's going to be hard to like start a permaculture revolution, you know, or maybe you're really passionate about surfing or something, but if you can't communicate that to other people, then it's hard to like pass on the knowledge. So anywho, keep on cruising here. So we got what the world needs, what you love, what you're good at. And then the fourth category is what you can be paid for. So this is like figuring out like what if you combine these things, do people value it enough to pay you for it? Because the reality that we're living in is that everyone still uses money, so you have to figure out some way to make at least your basic needs met by combining your passion and your skills and what you love. So, you know, there is amazing new frontiers in this realm of people that are doing what they love and making money for it. You know, like, for example, this guy, Dixon's Violin, he, one second. So this guy, Dixon's Violin, he had like a job in the tech industry. He was working in California on computers all day long. But he also was like a classically trained violinist. And so he eventually said, like, I love playing violin. How could I create this as a profession? And not just like playing in the symphony, because he didn't really fully vibe with that. He wanted to like travel to cool events and stuff. So he literally created his own new like industry, a new career. And he started playing violin at festivals and leading like musical meditation violins where you feel like you're like soaring through the cosmos. It's like the coolest thing ever. I've seen him play a few times and he's phenomenal. And he just started this, he combined his passion and he found that people do love live concerts of violin. So he started making a living off of this, and now he travels to festivals all around the world. He's going to be at Pyro de Mayo and up near Pittsburgh at Nelson's Ledges this spring, which I highly recommend also checking out setting some intentions to get to some festivals this year. During this winter season, you can like map out, you know, I encourage everyone to also make your own calendar. It really doesn't take that long. I've been doing it here. I'll just show you. You basically just look at a calendar online and then you map out your own little thing like that. It's super easy. You can do it in a notebook. And it's a fun little project to get your creative energy going and to really start to map out what you want your year to look like and what are some of your places you definitely want to get to. You know, I've got a bunch of different festivals I'm planning to share at, and you know, connect with a lot of awesome people. Pyro de Mayo is one of them. Resonance Festival. There's a bunch of amazing festivals out there. So um, you can send me a message if you're trying to get more info on festivals. So anywho, the last section is what you can be paid for. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of new frontiers, you know, that people are pioneering, being like a holistic health coach, which is basically what I do, or being a life coach, or being like an emotional healing counselor. Like these are very, very important parts of this transformation process we're going through, but they're kind of new pioneering areas for people, and so it's important to kind of explore how other people are starting to do it. There's this whole new thing called Patreon, where you get people to do like consistent crowdfunding for your creative project, and a lot of people are now like making a living off of this. They're doing what they love. They're providing very great content and value for people, and people appreciate that. And that's one thing we can all do to like fuel this new paradigm, is like support projects that we believe in and that are not the mainstream but are kind of like on this cutting edge. So that's the Ikigai map. Again, we'll be covering that more in the upcoming course, which literally starts this Wednesday. So if anyone's interested, we've already got about 9 people on board, which I'm totally excited for. And if anyone wants to join, we've only got a few more days, but it's going to be really awesome. And I will just say, like, I took a similar course to this back in 2013 called Essence to Impact. It was a 5-week online course, and it totally changed my life. There was about 15 people from all over the world. It was led by my friend Amateo Ra, and we had, you know, online video calls, and we had a private Facebook group, and then we had weekly assignments and journaling. And it helped me so much to like step my game up and like really aim for the stars, basically. You know, got my star shirt on here. But like, I really believe that we all have so much potential, and in order to cultivate that potential, we have to be, one, in a supportive environment, and also we have to have like the foundational skills to have our daily practices in balance so that we can really do amazing things in the world. Because if you don't have like a stable foundation, then you're not going to be able to build a good house or whatever your earthship house that you want to be in or whatever. So I think these foundational pillars are crucial to having a big impact in the world and getting your whatever your project out to the world is. So I did this online course back in 2014. It totally changed my life. I did a one-on-one session with my friend Amateo, and that was also very powerful because up until that point, I'd never really had like a one-on-one quote-unquote coaching session where he was like, what are your goals and how are you going to accomplish them? And I shared all these different things, and he really gave me the support that I needed, and he ended up guiding me to leading my own course shortly after that. So in the beginning of 2014, I led my own course called Conscious Creative Expression and had about 25 people in it, and it was totally amazing. We did a very similar format. We had weekly webinars and calls, private Facebook group, and then weekly journaling assignments and different readings. And people really loved it, and I had an amazing time and was able to share all of these different tools and ideas and practices that have helped me so much. And a lot of people have gone on to do amazing things. You know, in the little link box, wherever it is, can never figure out this mirror image stuff. I have the link to the outline of the course that I'm coming up with, or that's going to start this Wednesday. And I mentioned in there my friend Robin, also known as Bloom. He was in my course, Conscious Creative Expression, and he was kind of just starting to get his feet wet with performing and doing concerts, organizing events. And I do feel like this course helped him to kind of clarify certain things, develop certain practices so that he could like level up his game. And now he's leading phenomenal retreats in like Hawaii and Costa Rica like every other month. And I just feel like these containers of online communities are really powerful. So again, if you're interested, feel free to send me a message. That leads me into the next thing we're going to be exploring in the course, which is what I call the 6 pillars of a holistic lifestyle. And so you're welcome to jot these down if you want. We're going to be doing different exercises and helping to implement like daily habits that cultivate these different pillars so that you can have like a solid foundation so that you can do whatever you want in your life, what you can focus on, the projects that you want to bring into the world. So we've got quality sleep. I've got a bunch of different kind of recommendations and sort of biohacks for getting optimal sleep. Holistic diet. I'm not one to say that there's a specific diet that works for everyone. I think that we're all very unique, but there are certain specific principles that you can cultivate to figure out what diet is optimal for you. And some of those just include like being very present with your food when you're eating it and like really trying to extract the pleasure from your food. Like, for example, if you're eating food while you're watching TV, you're only tasting like maybe 10% of the food. And so if say you're eating a bowl of quinoa, for example, and normally, and this is part of the weird thing, like if you can extract pleasure from your food, then you don't require as much food because you're like energetically fully taking it in and assimilating it and chewing it well, and your body's like fully receiving it and like it's in balance as you're eating it. And so, but if you're distracted while you're eating, then you're not getting all of the like pleasure points, and so you're gonna actually need to eat more food to fill yourself up, and that might lead to being overeating or just getting out of balance essentially. And it also might lead to eating foods that aren't actually good for you. Say you're allergic to gluten, but you're eating gluten distracted every day, then like you're never gonna it's gonna be hard to realize that you're allergic to gluten and that it gives you a stomach ache or whatever. So anyways, in the course, and all of these tools are also in my 2 books. Like I do want to say that I'm super excited about this course. We've already got a great group. Of course, I want more people to join if they feel inspired, but I also want this right now broadcast to be providing helpful information to you. Even if you're not going to join the course or anything that I do, I share tons of information online totally for free. And I also have most of this information in my 2 books, which are right here. Let's try and zoom out there. The New Earth is Here and Unlocking Our Superpowers. Both of these books are basically like a summary of all the most helpful tools that have helped me along my journey. So I definitely recommend checking those out. They're also online on teampachamama.net. You can like read pretty much the whole thing on there. And so we're still cruising here. So basically these are the foundational pillars for a holistic lifestyle. So we mentioned holistic diet. We'll be going over that more in the course, and it's also on the website. And then we got exercise and movement. I think that this is especially crucial during winter season. A lot of people tend to stay at home a lot and get very stagnant. And so figuring out some sort of practice that you can do that gets your body moving. And literally, this is a big message of mine that might trigger some people, but I really think that so many of us are not exercising enough because we're scared of uncomfortability. we're scared of like, my mom, for example, is like scared of breaking a sweat. So she like doesn't want to sweat ever. And I'm like, sweating is a clear indicator that you're actually exercising and you're actually like getting your blood pumping and whatever. So I feel like a lot of us need to like let go of this limiting belief that exercise sucks, exercise is uncomfortable. Like, yes, sometimes it is uncomfortable, but it's literally like the greatest thing you can do for your overall health. And so like, I'm going to be harping on this forever because I'm so passionate about it, but I really think that we have to, well, we don't have to, but I really think that like working out at the gym is phenomenally helpful. And it's empowered me so much. And I feel like so many spiritual people, or generally spiritual people, like think of like the gym as like these bros that are just pumping iron 24/7, and like there's no space for anyone that's not a bro or whatever. But like I go to this place, Planet Fitness, there's people of all ages there, all body types. It's literally called like the judgment free zone, and it's amazing. So like I just want to plant the seed that like a gym membership may actually be the greatest thing that ever happens to you. It's probably one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me. I've gone through phases of not going to the gym and going to the gym, but I'm a huge advocate for it. Planet Fitness is literally like $12 a month. That's what it comes down to, the basic membership. It's like as much as a freaking sandwich at an expensive restaurant or something. Probably less than that. Anyways, I'm huge on exercise, but obviously there's millions of other ways to get exercise. But like, I think that having a basic threshold of trying to break a sweat or getting your blood flowing for like ideally 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week as like a baseline, I think that is really crucial to like living your best life. I'm just going to be straight up about that. So yeah, we've got these other few elements that we'll be covering in depth in the course. Healthy relationships. I got this mirror image thing going. Healthy relationships, this involves friendships, intimate relationships, relationships at work or wherever your job might be. Just having the tools you need to have healthy relationships, to have basic communication skills. One of the things we're going to be covering in the course is like the 5 love languages and understanding how we all like to give and receive energy or love. We'll also be covering the soul purpose mission, which will be directly working with this map, as I mentioned earlier in this broadcast, the Ikigai map, which helps you to identify some of your soul purpose or your life mission. And then lastly, we'll have the connection to nature. This is a crucial aspect that I think a lot of personal development overlooks. I'm huge on walking barefoot on the earth. I challenge everyone watching this to try my challenge, which is for at least 1 minute every day, go barefoot on the earth. No excuses allowed. Like, even if it's snowing, just try it. You'll survive, I promise you. But it's so profoundly healing. There's a whole book about it, which I'll have to do another video about. A whole book about showing like literally our bodies, most people's bodies have like 3 volts of electricity in it, which is not good. It's like screws up our whole bioelectric field if you have lots of volts in your body. And that's because we're constantly around EMFs and crazy microwaves and stuff. But when you go barefoot on the earth, your volts go from 3 down to like almost 0 within like a few minutes. And that gives you such a sense of peace and balance and like allows your body to restore its equilibrium. So barefoot on the earth is crucial, in my opinion. I mean, there's obviously other ways to connect with nature, which are all great, walking in the woods, gardening, all kinds of stuff. But even during winter, having ways to connect to nature is crucial. So all of these things together will help you to like survive the winter if you're focusing on these things and really cultivating an intentional lifestyle. Like, that's really the whole message that I want to get across, is like, if we live our lives intentionally, then we're like taking our power back and being like, this is how I want to live my life. Even if I work a job for 8 hours every day, I still have another 8 hours to do whatever else and another 8 hours of rest. I want to like optimize those hours to live how I want to live, you know? So that's the main stuff I wanted to just share, of like some tools and practices and philosophies for maximizing your winter season, getting ready for the spring, summer, and fall of this year. I really feel like this is going to be a monumental year. I mean, there's a lot of chaotic stuff happening in the world, but that's like the shifting of the ages. All, you know, it's like for everything to shift, the earth has to like separate and recongeal and all this stuff. And as long as we can just like hold a loving space and try and, you know, be present throughout it all, honoring our emotions, then we're going to make it through. And like, I really think that this is a pivotal time in human history, and we all have an important role to play. So I want you to be on your A game, and I want to be a strong, positive influence like so many people have been for me. So if you have any questions for me in general, or just questions about the upcoming course, please post them in the comments here. Even if you're watching this in the future, you know, you could post a comment or something, and I'll try and answer it in the next couple days. Any questions out there? While y'all are potentially typing questions, I'm just going to also promote this magical substance. I use this every single day. This is a totally all natural sore muscle gel. It's phenomenal for like aches and pains. It has menthol and camphor, and this is like a Kundalini yoga remedy. I just highly, highly recommend this. Most sore muscle gels on the market are made with petroleum, which you really don't want to put in your body. So this one, you know, you can get it on Amazon, you can get it at Whole Foods. It's all natural and it's amazing. It smells very minty, but I don't really care. Okay, so Sherry asked, where and how will we meet? So with this upcoming course, we're going to be meeting Wednesdays at, for now, the plan is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, using this platform called Zoom, which is a video conference call. So like, you know, whoever's speaking will be at the top of the screen, and then here at the bottom, there'll be like a row of everyone else's faces, and everyone can like see each other and interact. And we'll be sharing like intentions. We'll also be practicing a tool that I share called the affirmation activations, which is a way of like declaring your intentions and your affirmations in a very powerful way that actually reprograms the subconscious mind. Because you know, we're mostly taught to run on autopilot in the society. So doing these practices help to reprogram the subconscious mind. So we're meeting Wednesdays in this course via Zoom. Yeah, it's called Zoom. I'll send out an email very soon, Sherry, to help you kind of download it and stuff. It's pretty simple. And then we also have the private Facebook group where everyone can share their intentions, their links, their journaling assignments, and that sort of thing. And it's a very like supportive, encouraging environment. So for everyone tuning in, thank you. I probably am going to be wrapping this up soon, but you're welcome to watch the replay. I was basically sharing some tools for getting the most out of this winter season, and also just some information about this upcoming online course that I'm leading, which starts this Wednesday. It's called 2020 Vision. And yeah, basic summary, it will help you to clarify your goals, intentions, and visions for this upcoming year. We will also share different practices and exercises for sharing your unique stories with the world through writing and speaking, so that you can share your whatever message or mission that you are most passionate about in a way that positively influences others. And the last focus is on these 6 fundamental pillars of a holistic lifestyle, which I just grazed over, because these are the fundamentals to have in balance for a great life. Chia asks, will it be at the same time every week? I may have to go to the library or Panera. The plan for now is for it to be every Wednesday at 8 p.m. If we really need to slightly shift it, we might. One of our participants in the course is coming from China, and it's 8 p.m. is like 7 a.m. China time, so we're trying to accommodate her. So yeah, that's a basic overview of the course. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be like a chill environment. It is winter, so we're also honoring the internal, slightly slower pace, but I do think it's important to also keep that internal fire going during winter, and this will be a great way to keep that internal fire going and to clarify our goals and intentions for the rest of the year. So, anybody else have any questions or any jokes or anythings? I'll just massage myself for a minute here. Yeah, it'll be at 7 p.m. for me. They're both closed. All right. Well, we'll have to figure that out. Yeah, these are pretty magical tools, everyone. Octopus body massagers. Self-care is really crucial also during winter. I didn't directly cover that just here, but figuring out ways to really take care of yourself, nurture your inner child. If you check out teampachamama.net and just scroll through some of those, there's all kinds of things like inspiring music, different meditation playlists, all kinds of helpful information. So for everyone watching this that's thinks what I'm talking about is interesting, I invite you to, if you're not going to take the course, that's totally fine, but I encourage you to really cultivate your own discipline to be learning and doing practices on your own this whole winter and forever, because that's the way to live an awesome life, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's the word for now. Chia says she has to use hotspots. Yeah, we'll have to make sure that works. We can maybe test run it or something this Wednesday. But yeah, thanks for watching, y'all. If you know anyone who might be interested in the course, please send them the link I posted over there, wherever the heck it is. And yeah, we're starting this Wednesday very soon, so there's just a few more days to register. And I am going to be doing more courses like this in the future. I've had many people message me and say this time of year just doesn't work for them or whatever. I'm probably going to be launching another course in April all about being a leader and cultivating leadership in this new paradigm. So just planting that little seed now. Any final questions? Any of you magical people, even if you're watching in the future? Oh yeah, just wanted to say, I highly recommend, this is another great book. This is what I've been reading here during winter. This is a phenomenal book, Grounded Spirituality by Jeff Brown. This book really questions a lot of the common beliefs of many spiritual practitioners and really raises some great kind of loving critiques of the mainstream spirituality, which can sometimes do spiritual bypass and say your emotions don't matter and it's all your ego if you're sad about something or whatever. But I really do think that's bullshit to a large degree, and this book is just absolutely phenomenal. So I recommend checking this out. If you're looking for a great book to read over the winter, check out this book or my bro Philo Leela's Crazy New Earth book. They're both great books to read during the winter. So Anywho, I'm going to sign off here. Let's just close with a few breaths. A good way to close the energy in a centered and balanced way. I invite when you kind of like inhale, raising your hands up a little bit, and exhale, letting out a sigh. So it's like this. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hit me up if you got any questions, comments, concerns, and Happy New Year. Peace.